guys, welcome back for the golf tip of the week. We're here at Lake Mills Golf Club going through another round of tips and drills for your golf game. And I'm Dr. Nate Hoover with Optimal Physical Therapy, Dr. Jennifer Jeschke and Karen Anderson, physical therapist assistant, all with Optimal Physical Therapy. We'll be going through a few drills today that will be helping with your backswing and some of that mid-back mobility like we had discussed last week. Last week our drills really focused more on the hips, and we touched on how the mid-back or the thoracic spine will be necessary to develop that power to really recoil and get into that backswing as well as the follow-through. So without further ado, we'll have a couple of views here of a side view and a front view of what this drill will look like. And what we're going to start with is bringing the butt of your club or the end of your club up to your navel or belly button. And you'll have your normal grip on the club with this one. And then go down into your approach position where like you would be addressing the ball. And Karen, you can be up just a little bit there so the club can be off of the ground actually, so that the head of the club won't even be touching the ground. Good. And then what you'll want to do is come back into your backswing while keeping that club centered at your navel. And what we'll see is that you'll get that rotation and side bending at the mid back when you get to that end of your backswing, but the club won't be as far back as it normally would. What we're looking for is that you get about halfway through your backswing as far as the amount of distance that you're covering. And the thing to work on is to make sure that your arms aren't going across your body with this. You want that club to stay straight, coming straight from your belly button. So working that, emphasizing the backswing, that's our first drill for this week. The second drill will be for the mid-back. And for this one, what you want to do is give your club a hug and have it across your shoulders. Good. And we're going to be using the end of our club to point towards where the ball will be. So we'll get into our address position with a slight knee bend, hips and buttocks back, and then rotate through like you're getting in through your backswing. And the goal here is to have the amount of thoracic or mid-back mobility to have the end of your club pointing at or past your ball. So ideally we're getting that at or past your ball. If you're unable to point the end of your club to the ball, then going back to some of those foam rolling techniques that were covered this last Wednesday with our live stream to help with mid-back mobility, and even that drill that we covered with our first tip of the week would be helpful to work on the mid-back mobility so you can get all the way through that backswing transformational zone.
Question.
Yes.
When we're working on these, are we trying to do that more as a stretch and hold at the end, or should we be doing like more repetitions or hold at the end and repetitions? What would you say is best for that?
So I would say some slow, steady repetitions to get the motor patterning, or to understand how should I be moving when I'm working through the backswing of the ball. So that way your hips are moving through and you are understanding like what it should feel like to hit the ball. And then if you're having difficulty, if you're noticing some of those compensations, like my arms are really going across my body, or I can't get halfway, I can only get part way, then that's where you could do a repetitive hold and kind of work that end range a bit more to make it almost like a stretch. Good question. All right, guys, well, thanks again for tuning in. Please leave your comments below. Feel free to send us questions if you have any, and we'll see you next week at 2 o'clock.